as you get settled on your back, so the two fascia balls that we have, just little air-filled balls, you can use one or two of them and really place them anywhere along the spine that feels right for you to start, wherever that is. So you might have them at your low back or anywhere up along the spine. They might be side by side on either side of the spine. They might be in alignment with the spine. You might just want to use one. Sometimes I like to just take one right about my bra line and lie back. And the only thing I'm going to ask, you keep the knees bent, and also to notice the position your head ends up in. Now you don't have to use them at all. You can be on your back without any of the fascia balls as well. If you are using them though, just notice what position your head ends up in so that it's not dropping way back. So you might need a blanket. You want to create a neutral cervical spine. Okay. And once you've settled in there, go ahead and find your way, or place your hands rather on your lower belly. And breathe into the belly. Really very deliberately allow your belly to rise and fall with the breath. And simply be here with the experience of breathing. So we're letting go of whatever it took to get to our mats here in this moment. Dropping inward and experiencing our body breathe and the gift of breath. So working with prana, taking in prana, that life force, allowing it to fill our entire being. Let's check in now and take a moment to notice who's on the mat today. Beginning with the outermost layer of our physical body, Annamaya Kosha. Take a moment, a little scan from head to toe maybe, or there's some areas that are very obvious already to you that are asking for some extra care and attention today. Let them know that you recognize that, you hear them. Our bodies are talking to us all the time. And it's in this stillness that we can begin to truly honor and listen to the body and what it has to share with us. And this deeper listening is where we can tune into our inner wisdom and allow our choices throughout the practice to align with what's for our highest good. And oftentimes our body is telling us, it's showing us the way if we just take a moment to listen and feel. And you might notice the energy body, these subtleties, or subtle energies, the chakras, the nadis, and our breath all reside within the energy body. Just recognizing your experience of this moment. We also want to notice and recognize, honor the mental and emotional body. So you've often heard me say that whatever you notice, we're not here to fix it or push it aside. Just ride the waves of those thoughts, of those emotions. And come back to the moment with the breath and then ride the next wave. And in this stillness, noticing if we can connect a little more deeply with our wisdom body, our inner teacher. Allow that guidance to support us throughout the practice, as well as opening to the practice and what it has to show you. So if you placed a fascia ball or two underneath your spine, bring your attention to where those fascia balls are. If you aren't using any, just kind of bring your attention to the part of the body that might be asking for some attention. Maybe you're just feeling a little bit more. And breathe into those places. So breathe into that area where the fascia balls are, or the area that's talking to you. Invite those areas to open, to relax. Let them know they're safe. So we talked about a little bit at one of the requests of connection, and here we took this moment to connect with ourselves, to connect with all those layers that makes us human. We have an opportunity to connect to this practice, to our mats, to the space around us. So if you are using the fascia balls, go ahead and remove those. Allow the spine to come back into your mat. A little bit more of a neutral position. We're going to bring our feet and knees all together, or all the way together, so we're squeezing the legs together lightly. Into our sacral rock, and as we begin this, the movement's very small. We keep the feet firmly planted in the mat. Okay, so we're not allowing the edges of the feet to come off the floor. Just rocking across the sacrum. So notice what's coming up there for you. And then noticing if it would serve you to create a little bigger movement. Feel the edges of your feet start to come off the floor. Now it is a twist, so taking care of really where your low back is and whether or not it serves you to move too deeply with this. Breath is flowing. And then go ahead and bring that back to center and draw the knees into the chest. Surrounding the low back and the sacrum. And then we'll go ahead, feel that stretch. Take a breath or two here, bringing the knees in as close as it feels comfortable to you. And then if you're ready, if you'd like to create some movement, go ahead and inhale, push the knees arm lengths away, the hands stay on the knees. We exhale and pull them in close. So you could decide, maybe just hugging yourself, being in that static form is serving you, or maybe it would feel nice to move with our breath. Either way, nice full, deep breathing. Inhale Inhaling to the top of the lungs and exhaling everything out. Riding the wave of our breath, whether or not we're creating movement in the body. And then we'll go ahead and circle the knees. Taking several times in one direction before switching. Eventually circle the other way. Maintain the breath. And then maybe circle the knees wide. A little bit into the inner thighs and the groin. Just inviting the body slowly into the practice with some nice easy movements to warm up. And then we'll go ahead and bring the feet back into your mat. Open the arms wide, palms up. And you can take your feet anywhere from hip width apart to as wide as your mat. So you decide here what works for you. On your exhale, release both knees to one side. Inhale, open wide, and then exhale, release to the other side. Moving very slowly, connecting the movement with our breath. Very gentle twist. Also working with the adductors and the abductors as we release that one knee, or release into the twist rather, that top knee. You feel this through the IT band, that outer thigh stretch there. And then, as always, we can involve the head if you'd like to, and just rotate it in the opposite direction the knees go. You don't have to. If you prefer to keep the head center and still, that's okay. Check in with your body and your breath and notice what's serving you. Now the next time the knees release to the right side, we're going to keep the gaze up to the ceiling. And we're going to take our left arm, so the knees are to the right. Left arm, we're going to start to slide along the floor, reaching, maybe bringing the bicep to the ear if it goes there. If the arm's hanging out in space, so you're hanging in the shoulder joint, then release that arm back a bit so that it's resting on the floor. Okay, so at least the top of the hand should be on the floor. Or I guess that's considered the back of your hand. Should be resting on the floor. Fingernails down. Right. And breathe into that left side body, to the rib cage, just opening up the left side body, opening up the lungs. Nice deep breaths there. Always good to keep some deep breathing going in the lungs to help our immune system. And then slowly release that. Bring the arm back down shoulder height. Bring the knees back up to center. Take a moment, just feel that side. So we're just back into our neutral position. And then we'll release the knees to the left. Gaze stays up towards the ceiling and start to slide the right arm up along the floor, course it feels right for you. Keep the arms, some part of the arm resting in the floor so we're not hanging in the shoulder joint. And then here we'll breathe into that whole right side body, rib cage. Just open that up. And then first release the arm, then bring the knees back up to center. Take a couple of breaths here, just feel the practice so far. Notice the sensations in the body, present to the breath. Recognizing any emotions that are coming to the surface. Ride this wave of the body, the breath, the emotions, spirit, all of it. And again, we'll draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe roll them side to side a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead, find our way to one side and come to hands and knees. All right, so just actively pressing the palms into the earth, right? So rooting down through our hands. Our knees are underneath our hips. Tops of the feet or toenails are in the floor. Okay. On an exhale, round the spine. Inhale, soften the heart towards the earth as you lift the tail and the head. Exhale, navel to spine, round the spine like a cat. Release the head and the tail and reverse that. And start to just connect in with breath and flow, your body, your heart. Really allowing this practice to be about listening. Just listening to your body, listening to your heart. Allowing ourselves to feel the present moment, whatever it is. You might want to stay with the cat-cow. You're finding a nice rhythm here. Please feel free to do so. Or if you're drawn to change this up a bit, feel free to do that. So maybe you want to move side to side with the body. Maybe you'd like to circle the hips around. Maybe you'd like to release back into a child's pose and stay there for a moment in stillness. Right, so just listening, feeling, being guided from that feeling place, from that place of listening. Just keep breathing and just enjoying being in your body, no matter what's showing up. And then eventually finding your way back to hands and knees, just back to center, engaging the core, neutral spine, heart open. Take a deep breath here. In this neutral position, feeling solid, feeling support underneath you, feeling your own strength. And then from there, on an exhale, soften back into a child's pose, or as far back as it's comfortable for you. From that strength, from your heart, from your core, come back up to hands and knees. Exhaling, softening back. Inhaling, rising up with the breath. Allowing the breath to create the movement. The body follows the breath. You might want to lengthen the heart forward or lengthen the spine, bringing the heart forward. And then noticing when you're called to your first down dog today. So at any point in time, if you haven't already, you can curl the toes under, take the tailbone high into the sky. And then on this one, just like we did at hands and knees, it might feel nice to just walk it out. Start to move, bend the knees, alternately bring the heels off the floor, shifting through the hips. Discovering our body for the first time today. And then we'll go ahead and inhale back to the knees. And exhale to a child's pose or onto your belly, because we're going to stay here for a few breaths, just dropping inward. Take some deep breaths into the back body, opening the kidneys. And then we'll put this all together and just to our nice little mini flow. And as always, you create the flow that works for you. So we inhale back to hands and knees. Maybe lengthen the heart forward. Curl the toes under. Exhale, down dog. Inhale back to knees. And exhale into child's pose. Finding your own pace. I'm going to invite you to keep it as smooth as possible with your breath. And if you feel safe doing so, it's a wonderful time to close the eyes, to go inside, to allow the movement to be guided from the inside. The body is an outer expression of the inner world. Inhaling to knees, alternately exhale between down dog and child's. And within the next breath or two, we'll find our way into your resting pose, whatever that is for you. Drop back. Either child's pose or into the belly, whatever that resting pose is for you, and breathe. Be in stillness and feel, breathe, just listen. On your next inhale, find your way back to hands and knees. Curl the toes under, exhale, down dog. And walk your feet to your hands. Let's come into a standing forward fold. Feet are parallel, hip width apart. Head hangs, spine drapes over the thighs. If you want, you can be on a block with your hands. You can bend the knees significantly if you need to, right? We want just a whisper of the stretch in the back of the leg. So that's going to look different for each of you. Just going to hang out here for a moment. Breathe into this. And we'll take our hands to our hips. Bend the knees as you lengthen the spine, engage with your core. Press down to come on. Finding our way to a standing position. Find your equilibrium. camera. All right, let's do a little bit of, we had a tapping request, and I'd also like to do our immune work. So we'll start with the immune system, the Hegu point, right? So that's that area, the little fleshy point between the thumb and the first finger. So just massage that. Good for increasing or improving our immune system. This is good for any stuff within the head, dizziness, headaches. It's really nice. And switch, massage the other side. We're doing so with care and tenderness for ourselves. And then we'll go ahead and we'll just take our hands and knock them together, right between the thumb and the finger there. Just maybe about 30 times. Just breathe. And then switch the other way. Keep breathing. Solid in your stance, knees soft. And then we'll move to the neg 1 point. So if you take your 3 fingers, if you're unsure, take your 3 fingers from the crease of your wrist where the 3rd finger hits, just to the side of that, and that little tender point we're going to massage. Good for heart chi, blood pressure. And then we'll just take the flat of our fingers flat, and just tap. Keep breathing. And then we'll switch to the other side. Same thing on the other wrist. Find that where that 3rd finger hits, and just massage that point. I notice one side's a little tender and the other's not. Be gentle. And then go ahead again, flat palm, just the flat fingers, tap, breathe. And then pause and just notice the energy through the hands and the arms, or maybe anything else that may have shifted through the body. Just feel that. And then just making a light fist. Well, if you need to, find the placement. As we place our palms over our knees, just notice where your ring finger comes to land. Soft fist, and just knock there. Breathe. And then again, just come to standing. And take a few deep breaths here. Feel the practice so far. Feel the immune system kicking in. Or just know that it is. Know or believe that that works or helps. Good. So let's start with just a gentle massage on the face, and we'll come to some tapping. So just starting with the 3rd eye. You might use one hand here, just the tips of your fingers, just very gently massaging the 3rd eye. Eventually bringing both hands up and massaging the forehead. Moving out to the temples. The jaw, and just underneath the eye bone. Eye socket. Again, we're massaging with loving kindness all the way down the jaw, the cheekbones, the chin, and the upper lip beneath the nose, either side of the nose. And just take this back towards the temple, back to the forehead and the 3rd eye, and then we'll go ahead and just tap. So I'm just taking my fingers, just lightly tapping on my 3rd eye, awakening the 3rd eye, awakening all the various energy points here. Moving up through the center of the forehead, and then moving out, and breathe. Nice, long, deep breath, moving to the temple. So just kind of going in the same areas we did before, underneath the eye bones, eye socket, down the jaw, the chin, upper lip, cheeks, right side of the nose, and back towards the temples, up towards the crown of the head, for the forehead, and then moving through the center of the head, or tapping through the center of the head down through the back of the neck, then come back to the front. So we're moving in one direction. Again, tap it all the way down, and once again. And then just let that relax. Just take a moment, feel that. Connecting with our little breath and some energy. Let's do a little bit of our Qigong movements. Bring your feet out more shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. So this really is beautifully, a beautiful connection with our breath, working with the breath body, working with our energy body, working with energy itself, right? So the arms by your side, as you inhale, the palms are down here. It's like you're just lightly allowing the arms to float up. Eventually the palms start to rotate up overhead. It's all one nice inhale, root down, reach up. Pause here at the top of this breath, feeling the reach and the stretch, the heart open, the lungs open, chest open. And then exhale, flood your body with all that energy you just gathered. Palms down from the crown of the head all the way through the feet. We remain standing. You're just sending that energy down through the feet and then bringing it back into the earth as well. Right? Pause and then inhale. Reach, press down, open, pause at the top. Feel that stretch and that openness, the fullness. And then exhale. Bring it all into you and sharing it back to the earth. So we develop this intimate relationship with her. Inhale. All connected. Take in and give back. Two more times. When you've finished, just pause and feel, noticing the sensations, subtle or otherwise, just being present to whatever experience is showing up for you. Good. So let's go ahead now again, connecting heaven, connecting the sky above with the earth. So we inhale forward, bring the left arm in front of the right, knees slightly bent. As you exhale, rotate to the right. Right palm presses down, left presses up, just above the crown of the head. And we've twisted to the right. Inhale, bring it back to center with the right hand or arm crossed in front. And then exhale to the other side. Press down, reach up, experiencing that energy of opposites. Gratitude for both. That both play a role in our lives, above and below. And just feeling this, being in this experience for yourself. willingness to let go of maybe having to understand it all and to just move and breathe, relax into this movement. And just notice what it has to show you. When you've gone equally side to side, we'll come back to center. And then again, feel. Good. So now take your feet out even wider. And we're going to come into a pretty strong, solid stance. We're going to bend the knees only as much as it feels comfortable for you. So if you can bend them significantly, not all the way into a squat by any means, but definitely kind of sinking down a little bit, finding that core. Okay, we're going to bring the arms out in front of us like we're holding a big ball of energy in front of us. It's a very strong, solid pose. And we're going to go through a little series of movements here that I'm learning myself that I'm really enjoying right now. The inhale, we allow the belly to expand. So we even play with that right here. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly contracts or draws towards the spine. So we're actively involving the belly with the breathing. Inhale. And exhale. And then you might feel kind of a desire to pulse with the arms. As you inhale, they move out slightly, and as you exhale, they come back to that, just containing that energy. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, it contracts. And then exhale here, let your breath come back to normal and just feel. Nice strong pose. There's a hold that we're holding here. It's kind of a static pose, working into some strength. Right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to combine 4 different movements. Inhale, the belly expands as you kind of sink down with the hips. Scoop towards the belly, standing up. Exhale, draw the navel into the spine. Okay, that's all one movement. Inhale, cross the arms in front as you come up. Exhale, around. Draw the navel to the spine, back into your squat. Inhale, the arms extend out front, palms down as you start to stand up. Exhale, navel to spine, and come back down. Inhale, elbows bend, soft fists, stand straight. As you draw the fist in towards the side body, big inhale. Exhale, press it all the way. Draw the navel to the spine. Again, inhale, scoop it up. Exhale, away. Inhale, arms cross, wide. Exhale, belly to spine, bring it all back in. Inhale, palms down, come up shoulder height, straighten. Exhale, navel to spine, and float back down. Inhale, as we draw soft fists into the side body, stand up. Exhale, navel to spine, press it away. Pause, just feel. It's okay if this is a little confusing or you don't have it yet. It's taking me a little while to learn it too. Just do the best you can, just find the flow. Let's go one more round. Inhale, scoop. Exhale, away, back into the squat. Inhale, arms cross, come up. Open wide as you exhale, navel to spine, back down into the squat. Inhale, arms extend out in front, palms down, belly out. Exhale, belly in, release the arms. Inhale, softly bring those fists into the side body. Exhale, press away, navel to spine. Find that ball of energy again between the palms in your squat, whatever position works for you. Just breathe, feel. And then release the arms. Find your way back to standing. And just feel the energy. Good. Let's come back to shoulder width apart, knees soft. And just do our kind of our arm twist or swing, because that's also a form of tapping. So arms softly relax by your side, and we start the movement with our hips and the arms follow. So at this point, we're not physically directing the arms, they are just going along for the ride. Upper body's relaxed, lower half of the body nice and solid. We're feeling that support beneath us. It's leading the way. So our core and our hips and our legs are creating the movement. I'm making light fists. We're going to bring the front arm to the belly, right? As the back comes to the low back, light fists, okay? And then swing here again. So we're just kind of massaging the internal organs. It's nice for our digestion. Allowing the momentum and the hips to carry the arms. And then the hand and the back will always stay at that level. You'll just be knocking on the low back, but we'll change the front arm to knock just below the shoulder, right? Corner of the chest. Keep breathing. And then we'll take the front arm with an open palm and come around and just lightly slap the upper, behind the shoulder, okay? So we rotate and and the arm and back is still just going into a fist into the low back. And then bring this back down to a light fist at the chest, a couple rounds. And then to the belly. And then slowly coming to stillness. And just feel the sensations. Beautiful. All right, so find your way to the front of your mat. If you would like props, you can have blocks on either side. I'll leave that up to you. We are going to play a little bit in our lunges. If you know you're going to stay in a low lunge, you might definitely want the blocks. Right, so it's going to be up to you. Just check in for a moment, finding your stance. Your feet are about hip width apart, parallel. Arms hang softly by your side. Heart is open, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Allowing yourself to feel and be present to this stance of Tadasana, mountain pose, as our feet root into Mother Earth and the crown of our head reaches up to Father Sky. Feeling that connection from the ground and from above, meeting at the heart. And breathe there. Feel those two energies, whatever that feels like or means to you, meet at the heart and breathe there. Allow the inhale for the arms to float up overhead, palms together. Exhale down through center, folding forward. Standing forward fold. Take a moment here. Let's take some time here. Again, relaxing through the head, allowing the spine to drape over the thighs. Breathe into the back body. Feel the stretch through the back body. Your literal back, your spine, as well as the back of the legs. From here, let's go ahead, step our right foot all the way back. Come down to the right knee to begin with. Just a few little lunge rocks here, because they always feel so good to just rock back and forth. Exhale as we draw back, inhaling forward. Kind of check things out. Notice the right hip flexor as you come forward, left hamstring calf as you draw back. And just staying present to what the body's showing you. Noticing how much it can change from day to day. Let's stay in the hamstring here a little bit today. So go ahead and draw the toes up off the floor on the heel. You might want to walk your blocks back, or if you're just using your hands on the floor, just walk them back with you a little bit. And then take that pelvis, and rather than the natural tendency is to tuck under and around our low back, try to reverse that as if you're trying to work towards an anterior tip of the pelvis, the back bend, and feel that stretch through the back of the legs. This is where, having all of you muted, I can't hear the groaning or the moaning. But you know when you got it. Take a few more breaths here. And then go ahead and come forward into either a low lunge, or if you'd like to, a high lunge. So just notice what's resonating with you today in your practice. Hands to your thigh. Okay, back leg is strong. And how deeply you drop into your lunge is up to you as well, right? You can minimize this a little bit more. You can have it a little more narrow. Just as long as you keep your knee safe by keeping it in alignment with the ankle, please. And then maybe you want to keep your arms low today. Maybe you'd like to bring them to your heart, overhead. So, excuse me, finding your pose this morning. Finding your expression of the pose this morning in your body, nobody else's. Enjoy being in your body and expressing what you're expressing and feeling. Just be present. And then go ahead and slowly release, bringing both hands to the floor, and then press back to down dog. Walk that out a little bit. Come to the knees. And then either find your resting place on your belly or back into child's pose. Take a moment to be in a place that feels safe and comfortable for you to listen and just feel the choices you made for yourself so far. And then go ahead and find your way back up to hands and knees. Down dog, exhale. And then walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Once again, hang out here for a moment. Just let this head go. Even let the shoulders relax. Just really draping the upper body over the thighs and just let go. A nice release. And then either arms by your side or out wide. Lengthen the heart forward. Engage with the core. Rise up, inhaling. And exhale, bring it all into the heart. Breathe, listen, feel. Nothing to fix or figure out. Nowhere to go but right here. And again, inhale, reach up. Exhale down through center, fold forward. Take a moment, hang out in this forward fold again, just letting go. And then we'll go ahead and step our left foot back. Begin with that knee in the floor to a low lunge. Just a few rounds here of our lunge rock. So inhaling, we come forward, the heart opens and lifts. Exhale, release back, drawing inward, going inside. Inhale forward, a bit more of an external awareness. And then we drop into more of an internal awareness. And then the next time you draw back, straightening, we're working towards straightening that right leg. And you can bring your hands back with you or the blocks if you're using them. And we're going to go ahead and find that stretch. So again, notice if you're tucking that tailbone under, and if you'd be willing to really work towards an anterior tip of the pelvis, lengthening that hamstring attachment. Notice your breath, right? The ability to maintain that nice flow of breath. And then slowly coming forward into your lunge, deciding whether or not it's a high or a low lunge. Come up if it's a high lunge. And then you decide the expression of your pose, right? The outward expression of the pose, and it is in alignment with what you're feeling on the inside. Making this practice yours, being in your body. And then on an exhale, fold forward. Press back into down dog. Maybe walk that out a little bit. And then coming to the knees. Releasing back into either child's pose or to the belly. Whatever serves you, whatever makes you, helps you feel safe and comfortable. Just feel the practice. And let's go ahead, come on up, hands and knees. Exhale, down dog. And walk your feet to your hands. Again, taking a moment here in Uttanasana, forward fold, and breathe. Just hang out for a moment. What choices can you make to find the ease here? Just letting go into the ease of forward folding. Is it bending the knees more? Is it using a block? Is it coming up a little higher up out of the pose onto the thighs? Sometimes that feels great. Right? So really trusting your own inner guidance system. And either the arms by your side or out wide. Engage the core, lengthen the spine. Inhale, reach up. Bring it all into the heart. Exhale. And again, just breathe, listen, feel. Be present to whatever is showing up for you. And release the arms. So if you don't have a block up front with you or with you at your feet, please grab one. Just one is all we need. I'd like to go into the hamstrings a little bit more. So we're going to keep our block just out in front of us where we can reach it. And we'll begin with stepping our right foot back. We want to find a stance that enables us to have both sets of toes facing straight ahead and all 4 points of your feet in the floor. So if you step back too wide and your Achilles and your calf are very tight, that heel is going to end up off the floor. And we really want to find a stance in which your footbed is entirely planted into the floor. Okay. Now, if you have any low back sensitivities today, I'm going to ask that you keep your hands, your arms either behind you on your hips as we work through this. If you feel you have some strength in your back feels safe today, we're going to reach up with the right arm. Okay, so my left foot is forward, right arm reaching up, and my left arm is just along on my back. Okay. My spine is long, my core is engaged throughout this exercise. We're only going to fold halfway. So on an exhale, we're reaching forward, keeping the spine elongated, neck elongated. We're just folding about halfway and then come back up again. Okay, so this is working on back strength. Our core is supporting that, and you're also going to feel this through the hamstrings, or the hamstring and the glutes. Okay. We exhale forward, nice and slow. Inhale up. Anything that doesn't feel quite right in the low back, please lower the right arm. Keep both behind you. And don't go as far. Don't even go halfway. You need to really take care of yourself. Next forward fold. As we come forward, we're going to go ahead and continue to move forward into the stretch. Now, if you have the hands behind you, that's fine. You can start to bend that front knee if you need to. We're making our way to the block we've placed there. Keeping the spine elongated, heart open, core engaged as we fold over that front leg. Now, if you're here and you're up on the block at level 3 where I am and you're not feeling much of a stretch, you're welcome to lower the block, right? You've got 2 other levels that you can lower the block. And some of you may be able to remove it all together and find that forward fold over that leg there. And just notice what's resonating with you today. What's feeling it. Even though I can do that, I'm enjoying staying up out of the pose. Not coming into the deepest expression, just minimizing it. Being in a little softer place. Wherever you're choosing to hold, breathe. Keep drawing that tailbone back, working towards that anterior tip of the pelvis versus rounding that spine. Right, so really feel the difference. Play with that in your pose. You'll know you've got it because you're going to feel that hamstring kick in where it connects into the glute. And then from here, go ahead and bend into that front knee. Step the back foot up so the feet are parallel. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend the knee, both knees, and come up to standing. Arms by your side, shake that left leg out, feel that. Whew, lots of energy there, lots of heat. We took our time. So just noticing the sensations coming up for you. And then we'll step our left foot back, always coming into the foundation first. So we want to find a stance that is allowing both feet to be firmly planted in the floor. Okay. Particularly pay attention to what's going on in that back leg. Notice that the heel is coming up off the floor and narrow the stance. Okay. And if all possible, legs are staying straight here, but if your hamstrings are particularly tight, you will start to bend that front knee. All right. Left hand behind us, or excuse me, right hand behind us, left arm reaches up. As long as your back feels safe there today, otherwise keep both of them behind you or even just hands at your hip, okay? Connecting with your breath, it's a nice deep inhale as we lengthen. We exhale, reach forward with the heart. We're folding at the hip flexors, not the waist, right? So really, tailbone sticks out. halfway, then we come back up. Inhaling. Exhale, forward. Nice and slow. Really take your time here. Feel that glute of that front leg and hamstring start to fire up. And here we'll go ahead and find your way into the pose. Coming all the way forward. Both hands to the block. Find that anterior tip of the pelvis. Lengthen that out. And just notice where you'd like to be in this stretch today with the block or no block or a different level. Breathe here. Just meet yourself where you are. Bend into that front knee. Back foot steps up. Hands to your hips, bend both knees, press down to come up. Feel that right leg now. Shake it out if you need to. Feel the practice. Let's inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Walk both feet back. Come to hands and knees. One last time, either belly or child's pose. Just pause, go in, soften, breathe. And then go ahead and come on up and find your way onto your back. We're just going to do a few releases here. When we come into Shavasana, you're welcome to come back to the fascia balls if those felt good to you today and you want to use them again, that's fine. For now, let's go ahead and roll onto our backs. Draw the knees into the chest. Find our way back into the Apanasana we began with. Notice if you would like to once again be still or if the movement feels best. Maybe it's different than the first time we did it. And maybe a few knee circles in each direction. Let's go ahead and place both feet back on the floor, hip width apart, parallel, and come into our hip hikers or sliders. And just hike or slide the hips up the mat towards the shoulder. And then go ahead and move into hip pointers, pointing one hip up to the ceiling and then the other. And then take a moment to alternate between those two. And then we'll go ahead, find your way into Shavasana. Please use the props that you would like to use today, blankets or something underneath the knees or the head or on you. I'm going to take you through a guided yoga nidra practice and bring you into a seated guided meditation afterwards today. So we're spending a little more time in meditation practice. We want to make sure that as you find your placement of your body in the earth, in Shavasana, as you extend the legs out in front of you, that you are comfortable. And let go of any distractions in the body by providing it all the props and comfort it needs. Check in. Notice if there's any last minute shifts you'd like to make with the body. Make sure your arms are a little ways from your side, palms up. And please set an intention to stay awake for the entirety of the practice. Slowly begin to deepen your breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nostrils. Chest remains still. Your abdomen softly moving with the breath. Smooth, diaphragmatic, abdominal breathing. As you continue with this breath, stay aware of how this rhythm, refining and balancing the length of the exhale and inhale, shapes the mind. As your breath becomes smooth, mind becomes more quiet and more at ease. Please continue. Continue to deeply relax and continue to slow the rhythm of the breath while making it even. No involuntary pauses. The breath perfectly smooth, transitioning from inhale to exhale and to exhale to inhale effortlessly. No strain, no roughness in the flow. Slowly allow your breath to return to an involuntary flow. No effort to shape it. Sense it continuing to flow smoothly. Sense that each time you inhale, that a wave of life force enters the body and replenishes the mind. And have the intention on each exhale that you experience an emptying, a letting go, a sense of returning the breath back to the ocean from which it came. Each exhale an emptying, each inhale a replenishing life force entering the body like a healing wave. A sense that the body is still, it's open to the earth. Mind is passive. It's no longer having to attend to moving the body. So you can completely open and surrender to gravity. Bring your awareness to the midbrain or the third eye and sense a star-like point of light, a blue star-like point of light. Feel or sense it at the third eye, no effort. And now see the star-like point of light at the throat. Sense its presence as healing and nurturing to the throat. Star-like point of light, right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, tip of the right thumb, blue point of light, index fingertip, middle finger, relax, ring finger, little finger, right wrist, blue star, relax, right elbow, right shoulder, throat center, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, relax, left thumb tip, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, wrist, left elbow, blue star-like point of light, relax, left shoulder, throat, see or feel it in the throat center. Heart center, luminous with a blue twinkling star. Center of the right chest, heart center. Left chest, heart center. Navel center. Top of the sacrum, blue star at the top of the sacrum. Right hip joint, right knee, right ankle, blue star. Tip of the big toe, second toe, third, fourth, relax. Tip of the little toe, right ankle, right knee, right hip joint, top of the sacrum, left hip joint, left knee, left ankle, blue star-like point of light, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, tip of the little toe, point of light, left ankle, knee, hip, the sacrum, navel center, heart center, point of light, throat center, midbrain or third eye. Relax the entire body and see all of these points at once. The body and mind drifting towards sleep, but awareness is awake. Sense the mind has become that space between the points. The body is space lit by those distinct points. Now please bring your awareness to the heart center and sense the abode of absolute tranquility. The heart is a portal to absolute oneness, boundless ease and stillness. Please rest the mind in the heart, and as you rest mind in the heart, continue to let go and deepen the experience of the release of all feelings, thoughts, and desires. Awareness abides in the heart center and expands in that space, absorbed in complete tranquility and ease. Let go. While you abide in the heart, become mindful of the breath and see or feel that your breath has shifted into a perfect rhythm, perfect for this moment. And for the next few minutes, remain aware of the breath, the body and mind asleep. Awareness remains awake, experiencing perfect tranquility, effortless flow of the breath, absorbed in the boundlessness of the heart center. Slowly become aware of your breath, maybe deepening it, creating some movement in the body, slowly stretching, wiggling fingers and toes. And then rolling to one side, take a few breaths there. And then find your way into a comfortable seat. We're going to spend a few minutes here with a visualization and our breath. So if you can, keep your eyes closed, stay inward, just moving slowly and quietly up to a seated position. And when you've found yourself in a seated position that's comfortable for you, go ahead and rest the back of the hands on the thighs so the palms are up. The upper arms are drawn inward so they hang off the shoulders. Draw an energy from the earth up through the spine, assisting you in your seat. A soft and gentle engagement of the core supporting your back. Facial muscles relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Begin to be aware of the flow of your breath. If it happens to naturally lengthen, just let it. If it stays quiet and shallow, let it. So without any deliberate manipulation on your part, just allow it to flow in the way it wishes. And with this breath, become aware of one plant that might be in the room that you're sitting in or in your home, a plant that's within your home. If you don't have a plant, I highly recommend you get some. They purify and cleanse the air. They're so wonderful. But if you don't have one in the house, then just bring your mind's eye to a plant outside of your home. And if you can, just breathe with the plant. Right? So hopefully there's one inside your home. And we breathe in the oxygen that plant provides. And we breathe in gratitude for that oxygen. And as a way for showing our gratitude, we exhale carbon dioxide in which they take in. Right? So it's this relationship we have with the plants. We breathe in the oxygen they provide, and as we exhale, we give them exactly what they need. So take a moment to breathe in this relationship with that plant that you have in your mind's eye. Just be present to the sensations, feelings, or emotions that arise. Taking in and giving back. And now allow your awareness to expand outside of your home to your yard or garden around you, to your neighborhood, just breathing with the plants that are all outside your home. Again, that breathing in gratitude and then giving back on the exhale. Feeling our connection to these plants, to this life force. Noticing the sensations and the feelings that arise within your body with this exercise. Continue breathing with these plants and noticing what you feel. Just imagine yourself sitting in the center of Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama, many names she goes by. You're sitting in the center and you're breathing with her. Just feel the sense of expansion and contraction as we breathe with Mother Earth, as we breathe with each other and all living things on this planet. Allowing yourself to feel that connection all around you. Bring that connection back into your heart. Just bring it all into your heart center. Know it's there for you always. Let's bring our palms together in our hearts, honoring that connection to Mother Earth with each other, with this practice today. Honoring the choice you made for this time to take for you, this time of self-care. And as always, I'm honored and grateful to take the seat of teacher with you each week. Namaste.